What is a life hack that seems fake, but is a true lifesaver? If your ring gets stuck on your finger, Windex will slide it right off. Worked at a jewelry store for 5+ years. Put Windex on anything. Are you an older Greek man by chance? Use shaving cream as anti-fog. I used it on the inside of my motorcycle visor. Smear it on, let it dry, then rinse off and dry. It also works for bathroom mirrors. You can use it on a small spot so you can still see when you get out of the shower. Shaving cream also removes the smell of urine. If you ever have to take care of someone who is old and or sick and who wets the bed, a little shaving cream on a rag wiped over their buttocks after they are thoroughly cleaned up helps them really smell clean again. It's a bit of a sad tip, I know, but you never know when you might end up caring for someone who needs help with things like this. Nobody wants to smell. A dab of shaving cream to restore a bit of dignity? Priceless. Work in adult, senior care, and this advice is invaluable. Thank you so much. I can help make my clients' lives all the better with this. That rubbing alcohol removes chewing gum. I go through a 20-layer deep marketing funnel to get to that tip because it really does work. Also, wow. Thank you for all of the awards, nice Redditors. I completely forgot I left this comment and came back and my notifications had blown up. Rubbing alcohol works to get paint off clothes also. All my clothes have paint on them. Thank you for this. True lifesaver: if you are ever attacked by a dog, push your forearm into the bite. This pries the jaws apart and prevents them from clamping down. If a dog is attacking you, the best thing you can do is offer your forearm, push as far back as possible, and then grab the dog by the scruff of its neck with your other hand to hold it. The dog is now functionally muzzled and you have control of its head. The sooner and harder you push into the bite, the less damage the bite will do. This is a good rule for human bites too, just so you know. Push in, don't pull. This is also what you do when your teething baby chomps down on you when breastfeeding: mush them into your boob. Not yell and drop the baby. Though it's hard to remember that in the heat of the moment. This works for cats too, especially when they have you in the death hug. When cats kill their prey, they sometimes use their front limbs to pull the prey towards their belly, and their back feet/claws to scratch and disembowel it. It's instinctual, but cats can be taught not to do it to humans. If you've ever seen someone try to give a cat a belly rub, only to be attacked, this instinct is part of it, as well as a defense against attackers. If a cat isn't trained to not attack your arm, or they are trained but end up locked on, the worst thing to do is pull your arm away as if you'd naturally try to do. Prey animals will try to run, so that pulling motion on the cat's limbs mimic prey and the cat will pull you tighter to its stomach and bite harder. Instead, do this. Push your arm in quickly towards the cat's jaws, like a quick pulse, sort of, not a slow steady pressure. This will both keep it from chomping down on you and startle it. Use your other hand to push the cat's head back. Bonus points if you can cover their eyes. Suddenly your arm is no longer prey but predator and the goal is now escape instead of kill. Make as high-pitched yelp as you can. Like the most embarrassingly loud squeak possible. This is especially important if you're training a cat or kitten, because that loud yelp is not only startling but indicates, this playtime is too rough, now, and you need to stop. Kittens naturally do this squeak when their play with siblings gets too rough, and the cat learns what level of force is okay for it. Number 3 also works with training puppies to control their bite force when playing. Especially at the teething stage, puppies tend to nip more than they should, communicating that they were too rough, sets boundaries and teaches them to limit their biting. Dogs use their mouths like we use our hands. It's important to teach them to control their bite force rather than tell them off for natural behavior. Be warned though, a puppy showing a guilty look for being too rough really tugs at the heartstrings. Rubbing vegetable oil, or any cooking oil, on your hands after you cut up jalapenos or other hot peppers. It gets rid of the awfulness that would normally be left on your hands from the peppers. I rub my hands with oil and then wash it off with dish soap. I can totally remove my contacts after doing this. It's crazy how well this works. Nail polish remover gets permanent marker off skin. You know, in case someone draws a dick on your face. That's because lots of nail polish remover is acetone based, and that stuff is an amazing solvent. You got to wash it and even moisturize after. Not the greatest for your skin even if it does help get your doodle dicks off. Edit, my top comment ever is about doodle dicks. I love you folks. Clean jewelry with dish soap, since other cleaning supplies might scratch it, like hand soap or anything that exfoliates, or chemically react with the metals. Usually that's harsh cleaning supplies, and dish soap is intended to clean glass and ceramic without scratching it and silverware without reacting with the metal, etc. You missed the Dawn thread above. Dawn can regrow hair, charge your phone, and soft boil an egg. Big Dawn has gotten to yet another person. I've seen what it does to ducks. Stole all the oil those poor birds spent days collecting. You can also use this on wasp nests, especially if sprayed on them right before dawn since they're not very active. That way they'll be squeaky clean when they return back to their overlord, Satan. I had to get rid of a massive wasp hive on our roof, so in the middle of summer I got in a ton of snow gear to cover every inch of myself and got some spray bottles with water and soap. They didn't even get close to me, it worked so well. Boric acid is pretty safe. It was once common in eye wash. Dollar Tree has it for cheap as generic roach powder. It also makes great braising flux. If you're into that kind of thing, I used wheat flour and corn syrup to make up a batch, and then put it everywhere. Everywhere. No more roaches in the single-family home after about 6 weeks of less and less sightings. Web link. Vinegar in a plastic bag with rubber band tied around any faucet will make the faucet like new. I'm talking decade-old rust and stuff gone, and water flows like the first day. Edit, also works on showerhead. You can unscrew those and leave them in a bowl full of vinegar. Vinegar is great for calcium and rust buildup and it's not toxic. It doesn't work as fast on rust as some of the harsh chemicals available, but it gets the job done safely. It also does a great job of, mixed 50-50, cleaning glass if used in conjunction with newspaper. As a weird aside, in keeping with the post, molasses is also a good deep penetrating, albeit time-consuming, rust remover. It's helped me restore some delicate old hand tools. Put your onion in the freezer for 10 minutes before chopping it. It freezes the juices just enough to slow down the process of it turning into a gas, giving you a few minutes to chop the onion without tears. I learned this tip from a kids' science show years ago and I haven't had to deal with onion tears since. So many people don't believe me, and then are genuinely surprised when it works. If you're in college, don't buy your textbooks until you actually need to use them. I've saved hundreds of dollars by not buying required textbooks that we never used. I'm in academia, and the amount of money that professors actually get from selling textbooks they wrote is staggeringly low. So if it comes to screwing Elsevier, I'm going to screw Elsevier. Libgen has definitely saved my butt more than a few times during university. Run your wrists under cold water or rub an ice cube on your pulse points to cool down all over quickly when you get overheated. It seems obvious, but I didn't realize it until last summer working in a warehouse with no AC. Also, something I learned in the army: on extremely hot days on the range, if you need to cool yourself immediately, dunk your arms about halfway between your elbow and shoulder in ice water, probably will need a bucket or cooler, for about 20 to 30 seconds, then lift your arms over your head straight up and you'll literally feel your body completely cool from top to bottom as it moves down. If you're working outside and it's very hot, just have it ready just in case. It's required by the Army once it gets hot enough to have sheets and ice water to cool anyone that becomes a heat casualty, so it makes sense if you're out mowing your yard or doing work when it's hot. I live in Arizona. It's already gotten over 100 this month. This is the kind of life hack I needed. If a man is in an accident, car, ladder fall, etc., and he gets an erection, don't move him. He has a spinal injury. As a paramedic, this is true. It's called a priapism and is associated with a mid to low back injury. Side note, unfortunately, it might be his last erection. So, make it count. Any idea of the science/reasoning behind this? Haven't heard this before, but as construction season is about to start, it's good to know. Disrupting the sympathetic fibers leaves an unchecked parasympathetic neurological input, resulting in an erection. This would happen if there was a significant spinal cord injury disrupting the signals from sympathetic chains higher up. Going into more detail for the curious. Sympathetic innervation of the genitals comes out at the very bottom of the spinal cord, the conus medullaris. Note that the absence of an erection in no way rules out spinal cord injury. Web link. All your kindling for a fire is wet and all you have is matches and snacks. Any corn chip will light into a ball of flames. A dollop of hand sanitizer saved me when free camping in Scotland, but this is good to know too. Vaseline soaked cotton balls for the win. Edit. Many folks are wondering why. Main reason, they are light and compact. Other reasons, easy, quick prep. Long shelf life. They are reliable in the sense they are virtually waterproof and somewhat windproof. Cheap too. Space. 24 petroleum jelly soaked cotton/lint balls will easily fit in an Altoids case. You only need one of those to start a fire. Perfect when you want a reliable, cheap, light, space-efficient fire starter. The dryer lint variant of this method will only work depending on the types of clothes you put through the dryer. As others have mentioned, pet and human hair in the lint can cause unwanted odors. If you're having trouble staying awake in class/at a meeting, see how long you can keep one of your feet lifted slightly off the ground. When my dad was young, he often had to drive late at night. He said he would drive while holding a $50 bill out the window in order to focus and stay awake. Money bag. Railroad engineer told me eating sunflower seeds one by one worked for him. I have a bad habit of falling asleep on long drives. Finally discovered eating sunflower seeds kept me wide awake. Life-changing/life-saving. Eating or chewing is a great way of staying awake on the road. Class in 2 hours and I haven't slept at all. Perfect timing. Let us know if it works. Forgot to stay awake and fell asleep. Shh, don't wake them up. This also works if you are trying to stop yourself from throwing up. During pollen season, rinse your hair before bed. Otherwise, you're just depositing pollen on your pillowcase every night and then rolling your face in it all night. And then multiply that by how many nights you use the same pillowcase. You're a genius. 4 out of the 5 people in my family have super bad allergies. The allergy test came back with pages of stuff we're allergic to, and long hair. I usually just change my pillow cover every other day during spring, but I'll try this tonight. My friends always said I was weird because I prefer showering at night over showering in the morning. I love crawling into bed and feeling all clean and soft, and I have just always felt like I sleep better after a good hot shower. I have terrible hay fever allergies and dust mite allergies. This made me realize I'm probably literally sleeping better after a shower because it helps me breathe better through the night. What a eureka moment. Night showers unite. I started at a young age and is so ingrained that going to bed without a shower feels gross to me now. Also, agree that sleeping in clean sheets after a shower is nearly euphoric. Going back to the allergy thing, I also get terrible seasonal allergies, but I can't confirm or deny how much showering before bed helps. Write a list and cross crap off when you accomplish the teensiest thing. It builds momentum. Sometimes when I do insignificant tasks that I previously hadn't put on my to-do list, like brushing my teeth or putting my pajamas in the hamper in the morning, I'll put it on my list just so I can cross them off. Definitely builds momentum. And it gives you a hit of dopamine. Get that brain drug. Makeup remover on deodorant stains. Vixella randomly brought it up while talking to Chad on Twitch. My husband has a lot of t-shirts with white/stained armpits, so I gave it a shot. It worked. Amused. Edit. I should probably clarify that I used remover wipes, just a generic store brand pack of cleansing towelettes, on my husband's old antiperspirant stained t-shirts from his bachelor days. He switched to a non-staining deodorant a while back. There are a lot of other helpful hacks for this issue added in replies. I'll have to try denim or dryer sheets next time I find a stain to try it on. Really? Just put it on and wash it? I have to try that. Counting really slowly with the goal of reaching 150 is a decent way to fall asleep. If you have any thoughts during it, just let them play out, and if you forget what number you're on, just go from what you last remember. If you make any major movements, just start again. The goal is to force your brain into slowing down and not having any jerky motions or thoughts, and eventually reaching such a level of carelessness that you eventually fall asleep without realizing. Helped me quite a few times, especially with rain sounds. Hope it helps some of you too. I try to count backwards from 200, I'm usually out before I reach 100. It gives my brain something to do while my body calms down, but it's boring enough that it makes my mind wander, so eventually I stop counting and fall asleep. This thread is what LPT aspires to be. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.